There's news, there's sense, and there's nuisance. This show is all about nudity. Actually, this show is not about that. It's about calling the news media, which is failing you. और इस हफ्ते ब्रॉडकास्ट मीडिया ने अपने आप को खुद टोटली इतना नंगा करा कि हमारा काम बहुत ईजी हो गया. Believe it or not, Ranveer Singh's nude photoshoot made it to primetime discussions this week.
अब जरा विचार कीजिए, रणवीर सिंह के पास आज क्या नहीं है. हम बात इसलिए ये कर रहे हैं कि रणवीर सिंह ने ऐसा किया क्यों?
क्यों किया? क्यों किया? क्यों किया?
ऐसी क्या मजबूरी थी कि उन्होंने अपना न्यूड फोटोशूट करवाया और उसे सोशल मीडिया पर भी बिना किसी संकोच के पोस्ट कर दिया?
क्या मजबूरी रही होगी रणवीर की? पता नहीं सुधीर जी. शायद किसी के पास इनका कोई स्टिंग ऑपरेशन हो जहां ये किसी को या कोई इनको ब्लैकमेल कर रहा हो. वैसे ये बहुत दिलचस्प बातें करी हैं आपने. थोड़ा और गौर से सुनते हैं.
उनके पास आज पैसा है, पैसे की तो कोई कमी नहीं.
यही बात तो हम आपके बारे में भी कह सकते हैं. पैसे तो आपके पास भी बहुत हैं. एवरेज सैलरी ऑफ अ प्राइम टाइम एंकर कैन बी एनीवेयर बिटवीन 50 लाख टू ओवर अ करोड़.
लोकप्रियता है. सोशल मीडिया पर हर उम्र के लोग उन्हें फॉलो करते हैं. एक बड़ी फैन फॉलोइंग उनके पास है. ऐसे में रणवीर सिंह की ऐसी आखिर क्या जरूरत थी? ऐसी क्या मजबूरी थी कि उन्होंने अपना न्यूड फोटोशूट करवाया?
सुधीर जी, ये सब चीजें तो आपके पास भी हैं. स्टार एंकर हैं आप, यूट्यूब पे हिट्स हैं आपके, टीआरपी भी मिलती है. तो फिर क्या मजबूरी रही होगी कि इतने साल आप पत्रकारिता के बजाय प्राइम टाइम में कॉम्युनल और जहर भरा नंगा नाच करते आ रहे हैं? यही बात हम आपकी न्यू बॉस कलीपुरी से भी पूछ सकते हैं. क्या क्या नहीं है उनके पास? अपने बाप दादा की दी हुई बेतहाशा दौलत और फैमिली बिजनेस, शोहरत भी है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद उनका चैनल पत्रकारिता के बजाय आप और आपके जैसे बाकी एंकर्स से हर रात नौटंकी करवाता है. कोई तो मजबूरी रही होगी उनकी. It's not just for Sudhir though. Everyone decided to have a blast at Ranveer's expense, or should we say a bum blast at Ranveer's expense.
Why are you so uncomfortable, frankly, with him being naked? I don't understand. What is vulgar about it?
Of course this is vulgar.
Why?
We can see his bum.
You can see his bum.
Yes, that happened.
The actor's recent magazine photo shoot has triggered a massive storm.
I don't know how many people will understand that thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just cracked up.
Maybe you may laugh, madam. You may laugh, but this is a common thing.
ये तो ठीक नहीं है. बच्चे लोग बर्बाद हो जाएगा. हाँ, ऐसा वाला पोस्ट देखा है कि मेरे को 3 लड़का लोग है घर में. I have three children.
चलो यार, it's a good change for us at Newsance also. We are so used to seeing only asses every prime time that a bum's a bit of a change for us too. There's one more interesting observation by the biggest one of them all. I mean the anchor.
ये ऐसी तस्वीरें हैं जिन्हें परिवार के साथ देखा नहीं जा सकता, जिन्हें हम टीवी पर भी दिखा नहीं सकते.
टीवी पर भी दिखा नहीं सकते.
वाह वाह, फैमिली वैल्यूज. बच्चों को क्या सीख दे सकते हैं हम टीवी न्यूज दिखाकर?
एक सॉफ्ट जिहाद है और एक हार्ड जिहाद है.
क्यों सुधीर जी? लव जिहाद, क्रिकेट जिहाद, हार्ड जिहाद, सॉफ्ट जिहाद. शाम को जब परिवार के साथ बैठ के हम ऐसे न्यूज शोज देख सकते हैं विच आउटरेज आवर सैनिटी, देन रणवीर की एस क्या चीज है? ऑल्सो, व्हाट इज दिस हिपोक्रेसी आज तक? When it comes to Mehul Choksi, you're happy to do a full-on bikini shoot which has no connection whatsoever with the case. And when it comes to Ranveer, you're censoring it? I mean, you'd think this is something to censor. But it's this. And this is actually as good as this, which was on your India Today cover. Meanwhile, Sudhir ji, अब आप जी न्यूज से इंडिया टुडे आ गए हैं तो प्लीज कुछ अलग कीजिए.
गांधी परिवार का जो सरनेम है गांधी, उसका महात्मा गांधी से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. इस गांधी परिवार का महात्मा गांधी से कोई लेना देना नहीं है.
ये तो सुना सुना लग रहा है भाई.
हम आपको बताएंगे कि कांग्रेस पार्टी भले ही राहुल गांधी को महात्मा गांधी का वंशज बता रही है, लेकिन सच ये है कि इस गांधी परिवार का महात्मा गांधी के परिवार से दूर दूर तक कोई लेना देना नहीं है. आज आपको सबूतों के साथ दिखाएंगे. असल में गांधी परिवार का महात्मा गांधी से कोई लेना देना है ही नहीं.
एक बार फिर से बोलना. आई थिंक आई हैव हर्ड दिस समवेयर.
गांधी 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 गांधी. नेहरू गांधी परिवार में सबसे पहले गांधी उपनाम का जो इस्तेमाल था वो फिरोज गांधी ने किया था, जो कि राहुल गांधी के दादा थे, जबकि उनका असली नाम फिरोज जहांगीर गैंडी था, गांधी नहीं गैंडी, अरे गांधी नहीं गैंडी, क्योंकि वो पारसी थे। फिरोज गांधी के सरनेम से गैंडी शब्द को हटाकर गांधी कर दिया गया। ये फिरोज गांधी का जन्म प्रमाण पत्र है जो इस समय आपके सामने है, इसमें भी गैंडी लिखा है। लोगों को पता ही नहीं चला कि कब गैंडी गांधी सरनेम बन गया। ये पोस्टर्स हाल ही में आई एक फिल्म पुष्पा से प्रभावित लगते हैं। आपको याद होगा एक सुपरहिट फिल्म आई अभी हाल ही में पुष्पा, और उस पुष्पा में भी जो पुष्पा नाम का किरदार है वो यही डायलॉग मारता है कि वो झुकेगा नहीं।
गैंडी जून 13 से जुलाई 22 तक एक ही महीने के अंदर अंदर वही सेम घिसी पिटी पुरानी इन्फो आपने फिर पेल दी। अरे आज तक के व्यूअर्स को समझ क्या रखा है आपने? कली मैडम, इससे ज़्यादा क्रिएटिव इनपुट्स तो हम टीवी न्यूसेंस में दे देते हैं फॉर अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ हिज सैलरी। इतना पैसा दे रहे हो इन्हें, कुछ काम कराओ, गेट हिम टू डू समथिंग ओरिजिनल, थोड़ा डीएनए में चेंज करो, थोड़ा मोटिवेशन दो।
अबे अपने क्षेत्र में जाओ, थोड़ा मोटिवेशन दो लोगों को।
Meanwhile, back to Ranveer's nudies. At India Today, Shiv Aroor was taking the other view. He was having none of Sudhir's chi-chi, ho-ho over nude pics.
There are 10 things I believe that are much more naked than Ranveer Singh in this paper magazine photo shoot. Number 1, the joblessness of NGO activists, much more naked than Ranveer Singh. Number 2, the cowardice of our moral custodians. Number 3, the priorities of the Mumbai police in this regard. Number 8, police services being used for nonsense like this.
We agree, Shiv, but it's hard to focus on the very liberal commentary when the ticker is saying panga over Nanga. Seriously. Moreover, there's something even more Nanga than the 9 Nanga points stated. News channels using this mindless controversy for TRPs by organizing even more mindless debates.
आज दीपिका पादुकोण रणवीर सिंह को शाबाशी दे रही है, उनके गुण गा रही है कि वाह 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 पतिदेव आपने तो कमाल कर दिया। अच्छा,
Yup. Before Shiv Aroor was giving us his 9 points on this very show, Sherlyn Chopra and Anveshi Jain were having a go at each other. Actually, it was just Sherlyn Chopra having a go at our collective intelligence.
Wake up! देखो क्या हो रहा है इस देश में और सो कॉल्ड बॉलीवुड या उर्दूवुड में। अगर आप किसी कैंप के मेंबर हैं तो आपकी सो कॉल्ड कलाकारी की सराहना की जाती है। अगर आप किसी कैंप के मेंबर नहीं हैं तो आपको शर्मिंदगी महसूस कराई जाती है।
देवी जी, बॉलीवुड को उर्दू वुड बोलने के बाद यू शुड नॉट यूज वर्ड्स लाइक सराहना एंड महसूस। यूज शुद्ध संस्कृत वर्ड्स। Sherlyn got to lose it on both आज तक and India Today.
बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सवाल आपने उठाया। उम्मीद है सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से लोग भी ये सवाल पूछेंगे। और काम डाउन।
Whatever.
One more time, please.
Hi. Oh my God. Oh. Excuse me. हंसने की जरूरत नहीं है। Oh God बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है। कृपया अपने दिमाग का प्रयोग करें। फेमस होने के लिए क्या करने का? अगवाड़ा और पिछवाड़ा दिखाने का। सो इजी, सो सिंपल। मैंने पहना था एक बहुत ही छोटा सा टॉप, ब्रा जैसा टॉप या बिकिनी टॉप जिसे कहते हैं, और बहुत ही छोटे शॉर्ट्स, और मुझको डांस करते हुए दीपिका ने देखा और देखकर इतना गंदा वाहियात घटिया लुक दिया कि मैं शर्म से पानी पानी हो गई। हम कोई रिमोट कंट्रोल के साथ नहीं आते है ये इशू, मैं कहती हूँ है ये इशू, ठीक है? और जिनको ये बात समझ में नहीं आ रही है वो येड़ा बनकर पेड़ा खाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
It's obviously an emotive issue. Sherlyn has anger, totally justified, but they were not directly part of what we were talking about. But as always, we let our guests have their say.
Calm down.
Whatever.
Ranveer became a subject of debates, not just thanks to the Mumbai police, as Shiv had said, and certain child rights bodies, but also thanks to news channels that dedicated 30 full minutes to this controversy because some jobless people filed a police case against Ranveer Singh for some attention, and attention they got. Thanks to every news channel from Times Now to NDTV, giving them the attention they wanted. The issue of frivolous police complaints that are turned into FIRs are purely designed to harass people. And then there are ED cases that are used to silence any opposition or dissent. According to data shared by the Ministry of Finance, the ED registered 14,000 cases under FEMA and PMLA between 2019 and 2022, as compared to 4,000 cases in 2014 and 2017. This is an increase of over 187%. So मान लिया भाई सब चोर हैं, सब चोरी कर रहे हैं, सबको केस ठोको, लेकिन conviction rate क्या है?
The ED has registered 5,422 cases under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act till date, but only 23 persons have been convicted, less than 0.5%. The process is the punishment.
According to a detailed report in the Scroll, the money laundering law has been invoked against a range of companies, rights groups, activists, and journalists. Leaders from virtually every major opposition party in India are battling money laundering cases. Like we mentioned earlier, the process is the punishment here given the conviction rate. You'd think there should be some discussion on this naked use of agencies. Nanga naach to kahin aur hi chal raha hai. All this Ranveer debate was happening in a week when a total of 24 MPs were suspended from parliament. To dedicate even 5 minutes to Ranveer's ass in this mahal is beyond me. All in all, this week, news channels and advertisers must be very happy. While on air, they may be saying sab, nanga, si. Behind the curtains, they're all saying sab, changa, si. And why is sab changa si? Because when news runs on ads, it creates bigger and bigger tamasha for bigger and bigger audiences. Which is why we've always said and continue to say, when the public pays, the public is served. The world over and in India, people aren't leaving news to the advertisers but are paying to keep news free. Are you going to be one of them? Go to newslaundry.com, click on the subscribe button, and you know what to do. Last week, the Chief Justice of India made some very interesting observations.
Of late, we see the media running kangaroo courts at times on issues even experienced judges find difficult to decide. Ill-informed and agenda-driven debates on issues involving justice delivery are proving to be detrimental to the health of democracy. Biased views being propagated by media are affecting the people, weakening democracy and harming the system. In this process, justice delivery gets adversely affected. By overstepping and breaching your responsibility, you are taking our democracy 2 steps backwards.
We completely agree, sir. In fact, we've been saying this for years. The Supreme Court also had some interesting things to say in a case related to journalism, the case of Zubair.
The machinery of criminal justice has been relentlessly employed against the petitioner, due to which he is trapped in a vicious cycle of the criminal process, where the process has itself become the punishment. Arrest is not meant to be and must not be used as a punitive tool because it results in one of the gravest possible consequences emanating from criminal law, the loss of personal liberty.
This is a great order, and anyone wanting to practice journalism should actually feel relieved. But we live in a time when even news broadcasters would find a problem in this.
What the Supreme Court had said about Nupur Sharma and what they said today about Mohammed Zubair. Take a look. On Nupur Sharma, they said, what is her business to make these remarks? On Mohammed Zubair, cannot stop him from tweeting. On Nupur, statements were made to provoke. On Zubair, cannot anticipatorily interdict his free speech.
Shiv Aroor clearly was unimpressed with the SC observations and basically told us how Nupur was treated differently and how unfortunate that was. This is a comparison that may we say is a great device, but like all things India today, it's a little lazy on details and far from thorough. आप से ही सीख के, gold standards से सीख के, let us finish the comparison more accurately between a journalist and a party spokesperson. सबसे पहले, on the 26th of May, Nupur Sharma on the usual primetime hate fests does what they're designed to do, but takes it a notch higher. Over the next few weeks, this clip goes completely viral and there's so much outrage and protest against Nupur's comments that by June 5th, BJP decides to dhakelo her from the party and call her a fringe element. By now, Nupur has multiple FIRs registered against her and she's also receiving death threats. By 7th June, Nupur gets security by the Delhi police. This is where the real comparison begins. Nupur gets protection. Meanwhile, fast forward to 27 June, Zubair gets arrested for an FIR against him regarding a 4-year-old tweet. The tweet is a screenshot of a 1983 Hindi film. Let's repeat that. Nupur and her remarks on one hand and Zubair's Hindi film tweet on another. Both are booked under sections 295A and 153 for promoting religious enmity. While Nupur is under police protection outside of jail, Zubair is arrested. Now, it's on the 1st of July that the Supreme Court makes the observations against Nupur that dearest Mr. Aroor is speaking of. The court severely reprimands Nupur for her comments, which, by the way, are only oral observations. She is still protected from arrests. Meanwhile, with Zubair once arrested, multiple FIRs, both old and new, surface against him and he spends 23 days in jail, while Nupur is still in police protection. Zubair is made to flit from one court to another as he either gets denied bail or gets bail but is remanded to judicial custody in other cases. While Nupur still faces zero police action, by 19 July, her earlier rejected pleas are allowed to be revived. Multiple FIRs against her are clubbed, and the court's main concern is ensuring her protection. The Supreme Court grants her interim protection from arrest. The court says she cannot be arrested till August 10th. The court also says that she will be protected against any coercive action in FIRs or complaints which may be registered or entertained in the future with regard to her May 26 telecast. Then we come to July 20th. Zubair also gets bail. His FIRs are clubbed too and transferred to Delhi, and the SC makes very important observations regarding personal liberty of individuals. In all of this, Nupur Sharma has faced death threats. There's no doubt that she must be under severe stress and worried for her life, given the murders committed against people who supported her. There have been calls for her hanging and her arrest, and everything that has followed her suspension has been disproportionate to her one true crime, being an uncouth loudmouth on TV news, which, to be frank, there are a lot of. Meanwhile, Zubair faced the full might of the state for simply saying that Nupur was an uncouth loudmouth on TV news, for simply saying that Bajrang Muni is a hate monger, for apparently promoting religious enmity through his old Facebook posts that apparently offend Hindus. See the difference? In all of this, like I said before, everyone has suffered. Nupur for being harassed, hounded and kicked out of her party for quite honestly doing what seems like the party line. Zubair for being taken into custody. People who were murdered simply for supporting Nupur. People who were arrested for protesting against Nupur. The entire country for debating something that's taken us several years backwards instead of debating jobs, price rise, education and healthcare. इस सब में सबसे बड़े sufferers कौन? TV News के viewers. When I spoke to Zubair this week after he got out of jail, he told me that the main questioning he faced from the police was on alt news's funding. कैसे सवाल पूछे जा रहे थे कि भाई कहाँ से आपको पैसा आता है, कैसे आता है, कहीं तुम्हें कोई फॉरेन फंडिंग तो नहीं मिलती है. He was also asked why he only insults Hindus. Why doesn't he fact check other states? Why does he keep fact checking UP? केरला, तमिलनाडु में कुछ नहीं हो रहा है क्या? ऑल्ट न्यूज टीम में बस 3 मुस्लिम हैं 12 लोगों में से. हिंदुओं के खिलाफ लिखते हो. One thing the UP police couldn't seem to understand was why would anyone pay for news? Why would anyone pay for fact checking?
I mean, the line of questioning was like, India इतनी गरीब country है, कोई भी आपको पैसे क्यों देगा सिर्फ fact check करने के लिए? But this is a sort of ready-made conspiracy theory, not just against alt news, but against anyone who is seen as anti-establishment. That we are getting funded by a mysterious foreign entity.
Well, UP police, it's not a foreign hand. Our mysterious and wonderful supporters, tens and thousands of them, are proving every day that journalism matters, and they're not just going to leave it to corporate bharose or sarkar bharose. They are the ones who are paying to keep news free. They are the ones who are supporting us. A big thank you to all of them, and let's continue to shock the world. Go to newslaundry.com, support us if you like what we do, and of course pay to keep news free. Pay to support all independent media outlets out there who are doing work that is essential public service. Whether it's alt news or News Laundry, please donate, Please subscribe. Please keep the news model going. Thank you so much guys for watching this episode. If you liked it, please like it and please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Leave your comments below our video and tell us what you thought about it. See you next week.